We are here and live. We're here, we're live, we have five of us now. That's a new site, ain't it? We got 5 people. It's a new Blastcast. It's a wholesale new Blastcast. We have the legendary green switch with us now, and we're talking about childhood games. It'll be a great Blastcast. But hi, I'm Pure. Obviously, you can see all of our names now. That's another big update. I don't know why it took me this long to get our names, but hey, we have names now. Very big improvement. But from here, from left to right, we can introduce the special guest you can see over there for like last. But from left to right, we have Lena.
Hello.
Have Venger.
Oh.
And we have Mooney.
Ababa.
And of course, last but certainly not least, we have our special guest here. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Star. I hate kids.
This is Star, and she hates kids. What a wonderful introduction.
Yeah.
I realized I did not really give a thorough test of audio before we started off. So, I suppose if you're listening in, just tell me if the audio is good or not. Let's go, hating children! Hell yeah, we're here for it. And we're here to play some big blasts.
Dap me up, Kel.
Hating children.
We hate kids.
We hate children. Alright, so
I'm gonna
with
say audio
this-
is pretty good.
Start.
alright, sick. Alright, so with this next big Blastcast they've got so far, obviously the topic that I had said prior is, childhood games. As you've probably already read in the title, you've heard from me once and now twice already. They've got childhood games, just games that we have that we either grew up playing and never really got stripped away from, like games that kind of formed our childhoods, or games that we just kind of remember playing at some point in our childhood lives. Whatever the situation was, it's just a game that you played as a kid. That's the whole topic today. So, I suppose the question I can ask to all of you: what's a childhood game that you remember playing? Any of you 4?
There's a lot.
Okay, just like start out with a game that that you just very vividly remember, like one of the games that pops into your head immediately.
Yeah, I guess
That helps you narrow it down.
every games we played, yeah. So it could be like Mario Sunshine, like one of the first games I ever played. I didn't do anything, but it was fun to just wander around.
Let's see. One of them is, I remember very fondly playing, Sonic Adventure 2, which is a game I still play every so often now. And I am currently looking at mods right now for Sonic Adventure 2.
Ooh.
I have spent an amount of hours in Chow World that I do not want to admit. Whether it's from actually being in the game or AFKing the game while I'm doing something else. I have a Chow with all S rank in that game. In the real hardware version. If that's a testament to how dedicated I was to that craft.
Do you have a Chaos Chow?
Yes. With all F.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah, that save file I still have on my GameCube. And it was years of work to get to that point. Because I just like played every so often, and I think I lost my save file at least once too.
Oh no.
Probably because I just accidentally deleted it since I didn't understand GameCube save files.
Yeah, I definitely have a story or two of just like accidentally formatting like the GameCube memory card when I was playing Melee, and you know all the unlocks of Melee, getting everything in that game takes a good minute. So you can imagine the devastation that I was in after I accidentally formatted everything on the card. And I was like, oh no, what have I done?
Let's see. Another game that I have fond memories of is the one and only Sonic Heroes, which was my very first Sonic game alongside of SA2. And during the COVID pandemic, I went back and 100%ed that game. And there's a few mild regrets in doing that because, wow, Sonic Heroes is a game.
It certainly is a video game.
It's a video game.
Absolutely. Mr. Mooney, what's say with you two?
Mario Galaxy 1 is a very good video game. I could not get past... Oh lord, which one was that? The bonefish boss fight I could not beat for the life of me.
Oh, I could definitely see why that would kind of stump you.
And I just never beat it.
Galaxy, the Galaxy games are weird for me because I played Galaxy 1 second. I played Galaxy 2 first. And then I went back to Galaxy 1 and I kind of get it. I kind of got it. I beat the game. I just never went back to get like 120 stars because I was like, I didn't really super understand how the purple comet system, just the comet system worked. So I was like, it was cool. I don't feel like I want to go back to it though. Mooney, how about you? What are some games that you have in your mind right now?
The childhood experience of playing a game for 20 hours and never getting out of the starter world.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Finish.
I mean, Letup has already pointed that out with that being his Sunshine experience.
Yeah, I roamed Delfino Plaza. I did the slide. That's basically it.
Okay, I fetched my screenshots from the great year of 2020 of the proof that I am a Sonic Heroes gamer.
Stop it.
A true Sonic hero, if you may.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just give me a second. I'm not going with this.
When I played games as a kid, I was always scared of enemies. So I would just go onto a completed file, usually my dad's, and then just roam around the areas of the games that are safe.
Okay.
That was my childhood gaming. Or youngest years, rather.
Included is a bonus screenshot of something that often happened in my childhood, which is, take a good look at the... Okay, I guess I can't really upload that right now. But, but essentially, what I'm trying to talk about is, the experience of, having a level take a ridiculously long time, because of the fact that you didn't understand what to do.
Yeah, no, that is definitely the thing that is definitely something that just kind of happens. Like, that shit just happens a lot. Especially in Heroes. Heroes especially is like, sometimes those stages can take eons. Like, ooh. You know, one thing that I remember very particularly is playing New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and since I was dumb stupid kid, and also since I had played Super Paper Mario first and didn't really get very far in that game because I didn't think to, actually listen to what Tippy was saying and actually point the Wiimote in the big house in World 1-1, as you do as dumb stupid kid. Super Paper Mario does not have a run button, so I applied the same logic to New Soup. I did not think to just hold one for a bit. So for a while, I was just kind of taking a very leisurely stroll through quite a few of the stages in the game, and it was not until I watched the super guides and then put the pieces together when I had a fire or ice flower, where I was like, I'm going a little faster when I try to throw ice or fireballs. I wonder why that is. And then I held one, and I'm like, oh, that's how I do it. That's how the cool videos did it.
The realization.
Yeah. Also, the super guides in New Super Wii are honestly really cool. By the way, they're actually just they're kind of just task level stuff in the game.
Isn't there one where Luigi wins by doing nothing?
Yeah, they technically he holds the jump button for some of it because he has to bounce high off of enemies, but for the most part he is not inputting any directions on the stick. It is everybody else carrying him through the stage and using Yoshi to bring him and spin him out on other stages to get lives during the whole process.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, they have a lot of cool stuff to show, shown off in the super guide replays and whatnot.
Finish.
This is you see star coins to spend for super play, video, and it's oh, you're in for a good time to just watch that because it's oh, that's what you could this is the 4-player super plays are what you can do if a team is at peak performance and is actually cooperating, which chances are if you're playing New Super Wii, that's not gonna happen. But yeah, that's a very vivid memory that I have with New Super Wii. What else to? Okay, what are some really weird random games do you remember playing as a kid?
Yes. So I've got a story here.
All right.
Very. Sorry.
Shoot.
So a very long time ago, my oldest cousin gave me an old Game Boy game he had, Game Boy Advance game. It was a SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. I did not care about SpongeBob as a kid, but it's a Game Boy game. I can play it, so I played it. I never got far, except for the password system, which just, as I've discovered replaying the game a few days ago, only 4 characters on a limited keyboard. So I guessed the password and skipped to the final boss.
Nice.
And the funny part is, I did that again a few days ago.
Oh yeah, did you remember the password out of just the back of your brain?
Nope. I guessed it again.
Oh, you just guessed it.
Yep. Just started mashing buttons and it worked.
Nice. You know what'd be funny? What if there was a what if for that game in particular there's just a failsafe of if you just start mashing or something like that, or if you just guess a random password and it leads to nowhere, you just go to the final boss as punishment.
Okay, I found it.
If that is the thing, that actually would be really funny.
Oh, 43 minutes! Oh no!
What?
Oh no, Star!
If you're curious, I also found the improved time that I did, that I posted a screenshot of later on. That this is this is me eventually slaying the beast.
Yeah, so
43 to 8. Holy.
well, that was the first mission. I don't know what the time for the second mission was.
I don't remember. I don't feel like booting up Sonic Heroes though to find out.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Yeah. Well, for context, what Star has sent in the Actor Lounge was just an image of Mystic Mansion second mission in Sonic Heroes, which is very notorious for being one of the dumbest missions in Heroes.
You can just put it on the screen if you want.
Yeah, I'll just like save the image and just put it on stream. Actually,
Just put it
it'll
on
be
the
super
screen.
big.
I let it speak for itself.
Yeah. Alright, real quick. Putting it in pictures.
Vector got long.
Yeah, Team Chaotix getting lost in a mansion. Yeah, that's Team Chaotix, all right.
I love them so
Yep.
much. Best Sonic characters? Question mark.
Honestly, I fucking love Vector.
Vector's great. He's what made Heroes good for me, at least. I like the niche run-around missions.
Alright, time to add the image.
Since we have, like, blank space on both sides, could we just, like, keep adding images as the cast goes on?
I think right side's chat, isn't it?
Oh, wait, right. So the left sides could be, like...
Look,
yeah.
I'll have the I'm going to change this to the chaotic picture for a moment.
Pinboard,
Yay.
let's go.
I'm not
Gonna
sure
change
how
this to
well y'all can
chaotics.
see it. But that image there was me and Pure a long time ago playing Mario Party
that's-
Top 100 on 3DS. On one screen, the one player, which I believe was Pure in Tug of War, won, and on the other it was a tie.
Yeah.
So that was
So
funny.
we desyncs a local game of Mario Party the Top 100 because that game is designed.
In the Chaotix image to the left, I would also like to point out that I didn't even get an E rank for that.
You got a D rank because of your score being just high enough to just say you can pass. You can kind of pass today.
What a game.
You know that mission sucks. That is the blue flame. You have to find all of the blue flames in the mansion, and all of the blue flames are hidden much better than the normal flames that you have to find in that mission. And by much better, I mean in much stupider locations.
Also, because this is a game from the early 2000s, you do not get generous hints on where something may be.
Yeah, that's also true.
So
you
you're
just
kind
have
of
to
just
scour.
and that's where we get to this took 43 minutes for child me to do.
Mm-hmm.
43 minutes is still good. It wouldn't take any longer, to be honest, probably. Like
Look, this time is getting onto Eggman Land, like levels of long. Okay, but back to the topic of just random games we remember playing. I remember that there were a few games that, well, okay, Latchkey, right? Just like after school and before school stuff that, you know, you just have in elementary school because your parents have to go to work or something and they come home late from work, so you have to have somewhere to go. So, Latchkey, right? Back in elementary school, we had during I think kindergarten and first grade, we had an N64. So that's where I learned of Mario Kart 64 and just N64 games. that was a fun time. The N60, eventually the cartridge for Mario Kart 64, either that or the console itself, just didn't feel like actually wanted to work anymore. So we unfortunately had to like get rid of the N64. But that was like one of the first games that I remember playing like in latchkey and whatnot. It was a great time. I think I remember playing like the races, like just. I don't remember much about Mario Kart 64, but I just remember enough of it to where I remember playing it. But there was also a really old computer there, which also had some games. There were a lot of the games weirdly required you to like use the mouse as like a trackball, more or less. What are we talking about? We're talking about childhood games. Hello, War. It's childhood game podcasts. Just games that we remember playing as kids, whether it be like we remember vividly and just kind of formed our childhoods, or just games that we remember playing. But supposed to continue though. There are two games that I remember that I had to specifically remember. Now, can you like go away for a moment? I'm trying to talk here. I'll take you in a moment. Try to tell a story. Try to tell a story, okay, buddy? I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry. I gave you a moment. Okay. So, to continue, had a, there was a weird 3D, this was like weird 3D games. It was just like, I remember a bowling game where you had to use your mouse as like a trackball or trackpad or whatever. You had to just constantly slide it forward to get the ball moving. That's the main reason why like those games were no longer allowed to be played, because they started to like mess up the mouses, the mouse, because they were also the mouse was also, it was a trackball mouse and not like an infrared laser or whatever that is used now. So kind of just started to mess up the mouse that was on the old mouse on the old computer. So I remember that. There was also 3D Pinball Space Cadet on that computer, from what I remember. And there was also, like, a point-and-click adventure game. I don't quite remember which game it was. I know it was not Putt-Putt. That is not what it was.
I just had, like, 13 memories up here.
You just had... Oh, so this is also something that you remember, like, that happened adjacent with you, with
it wasn't
your school experience.
Okay.
No, I didn't specifically have like that. What awakened first, I remember when my family first got like an iPad. We had several different varieties of tilt the iPad and roll the ball kind of games. There was a recreation. Sorry.
Huh?
You can go.
Okay. Okay. I want to, after you tell your story, I have, like, a simple test to see how old I am compared to you all in here.
Finish. Winner.
Yeah, there was there was one of said rolling games was like an iPhone app replication of like those labyrinth puzzles you could see.
Mm-hmm.
One was just straight up 3D, roll the ball through space and get to a goal kind of thing. Kind of like Monkey Ball, but not like Monkey Ball. Because it was just a ball. I don't know how I remembered that though. There's so many silly old Apple games that just kind of existed to prove the power of an iPad or something like that.
Yeah, I mean that's why they were there, just to like to show that these things are powerful and they're worth your time and money. Any other memories?
Quite a few, but I'll save some of them.
Alright. So let's before your thought escapes you, since you had to bring something up. What is your test?
Okay. Has anyone ever played this before in school?
This?
What is this?
What do we got?
To Learn 3. I not played Type to Learn.
No recollection.
Okay, you are officially too young then. I'm leaving.
Hold on.
Don't leave. You're bringing up a different perspective. You have to talk about this.
What is type to learn 3?
Okay, so this is a thing I like very vaguely remember from like my elementary / middle school years. Probably more elementary, since well that's like the type that the kind of age you would expect to be learning how to type on a keyboard. It was basically this just like I guess like the retro idea of future, if you know what I mean. Like kind of like the kind of aesthetic you'd think of from like Back to the Future. It's got like that kind of vibe to it with like the aesthetic of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like a sort of learning game where you had to like type on the keyboard in certain ways, and it was like because it was a learning game, it was very like educational focused, of course. But it had like this just futuristic theme to it, where you like time travel in that car in the image I posted in the VC text.
Yeah.
And that old guy there is like the sort of like the host of the game, quote unquote. And you're like his like partner that just like helps him go time travel and stuff. And it was a pretty interesting game.
So like this is Mario's Time Machine meets Mario Teaches Typing. That's the vibe I'm getting.
I haven't really seen gameplay of either of those, so I'm not sure if you're accurate or not. But I could look for a video real quick. Let's see if you are accurate.
I never took any keyboard typing lessons, I just learned by using a computer for years.
Honestly, yeah.
Start.
I had some sort of typing lesson thing in 6th grade. I remember that much. But it wasn't like... It wasn't super gamey, it was just an actual tutorial website. They had some game modes on them.
You can just skim through it and see if this matches what you're describing.
Like, definitely is not, or for me, it's not. That certainly looks like insert old type teaching thing.
Oh yeah, this is definitely just old Flash game. And
I've
material.
definitely seen plenty of games in that style. Not necessarily typing games, but...
I only remember this one because it had a particular style to it that you don't see in like these other educational games a lot of the time. And it just kind of like latched onto some crevice of my brain. Now, alright, huh?
Alright. You've brought up like educational like kinds of kind of like game kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
My mind has now like remembered Raz Kids as like as a site that I remember like going on in elementary school, or like having to go on in elementary school.
Raz Kids? I've never heard of it.
Yeah, Raz Kids. It's I don't quite remember how to I don't quite know how to describe it, but it's like it's your pretty generic elementary school just yeah, you just you read stuff, and then you have to like take quizzes on on what you have read, and then you get points to get stuff to decorate whatever I'm pretty sure it was like you get points to decorate your I'm pretty sure your rocket ship. It's just a cool Flash rocket ship that you have, and it's like you can just decorate it with all this stuff, and you can just flex to the other students about like getting this really cool expensive thing by just feeding Raz Kids for a while on the computer. honestly, kids just need stuff like that. The kids just need more stuff like that, because that just incentivizes them to actually to learn more, or at least try to learn more.
Okay. I hope this is another like childhood game kind of site that someone else in here can like relate to. have you ever played Cool Math Games slash
yeah.
Cool Math for Kids?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I'm not as old as I thought I was. Okay.
You know,
Math
cool,
games
cool
is-
math
is-
games is like. Yeah, you can go. You can go.
Yeah, that's like the site for like
Finish.
young people games.
Winner.
It's
Yeah.
delinquent children that don't want to do their schoolwork. Yeah, that's the site.
Mm-hmm.
Insert Fireboy Water Girl, Sugar, all the pizza, also Papa's restaurant games.
The Run duology.
Run.
I don't know if it was a trilogy or a duology, but I
believe it was a
remember
trilogy.
I remember the first 2 games being there. I don't know about a third.
Start.
There was a third.
It's
But
it's
I
the
mostly
top
remember
one
Run
game on
2.
the site. I just went and checked.
Yeah, I mostly remember Run 2. 'Cause
Um,
that one had the bass music.
That's also the site that I learned about the Balloons franchise from. Balloons Tower Defense.
Or like saying good old plague miniclip, Newgrounds and such in computer classes.
Wait, what do you? Oh, sorry, I just went to Cool Math for the heck of it. Why is Pop Tropica here?
Pop
Song?
Tropica?
Really?
Well, that's his name that I haven't heard in years.
That is
Club
Such a-
Penguin.
Pop Tropica is also something I just completely forgot about.
Animal Jam. There were a bunch of those types of things.
Pop
Webkins.
Tropica shut down their website in 2024. So they moved to Cool Math Games.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I understand.
Okay, I'd like to point out real quick, why is there so many Papa games?
Yeah, there are a few.
And that's not even all of them.
Gotta cook. You gotta cook.
It's just the Papa's games. There's just
In the top 10, there's a Freezeria. Oh, there's literally just all of them on the right. Pizzeria, Freezeria, Scooperia, Cupcakeria. That's not a thing.
Burgeria, Cheeseria, Pancakeria, Hot Doggeria,
Pizzeria.
This guy has like
Papa's Diarrhea.
Oh my gosh, this is a Suika game.
this guy has a monopoly in the food service industry.
That he
Yeah.
does.
Why?
Because he runs everything like a subway. It makes sense.
Hot Doggeria, fuck yeah. Alright, Cal, I understand. I get you.
Everyone had one Papa's game they really liked.
I think the burger one, the first one I played, was the only one I really liked.
Mayonnaise.
Um,
Mayonnaise.
Yes, I remember that video slash related videos where people just like dumped like as much mayonnaise on a single burger as possible and served it to the customer and wondered why the customer was angry about it.
IQ ball.
Which if you ask me, I think it's an impressive feat if you can manage to make a solid mass of mayonnaise on a burger, and that's it.
You know, that is a feat that like you shouldn't be able to do.
Mayonnaise sandwich.
Oh, there's a Suika game on here.
Oh. Suika?
Yeah, the watermelon thing. It like blew up for a little bit not too long ago.
Oh yeah, the watermelon game where it's like it's a 2048 like.
Yeah, which
Oh.
mad addicting.
Huh.
Like I saw that weird watermelon game there, and I'm like, that's just 2048 again, isn't it?
More or less.
Which kind of brings me to something that I also like. There's this one minigame in Mario Party 10, which is just you drop gems into your pile of the board, and you just start like making change with those gems, right? You remember that? Because that game rings a similar bell to like to the game that we have now been talking about.
I'm struggling to think of that one. You say 10?
Yes, Mario Party 10. I'm pretty sure the minigame was called Jewel Drop.
Oh, they still have a coffee shop.
I can't think of it.
Yeah. I just remember that one because that like was one of the that was like a game that was like, wow, this is honestly pretty cool for like Mario Party 10, considering the bar that was pretty down on it, like down 6 feet under that Mario Party 10 has made. But you know, it was a neat mini game. We're having a good time with that.
Yeah, I can't think of that one too well.
Well, okay. Did we have a childhood Mario Party?
Yes. For me, I'll put it like there's two of them that I remember a lot of, and that was Mario Party 7, the one that I won't shut up about if I ever like talk about it. Simply because that's the only one that I played on the GameCube. And Mario Party DS for being the only Mario Party with a like substantial single player campaign.
Yes.
Yeah.
DS would be the other one for me, and that's I mentioned it in one of our earlier Blastcasts. DS is my favorite Mario Party by a long shot. Yeah, I guess I would have had that for a really long time. Oh god, I just remembered the first file I made in DS. It was my initials, but like exaggerated. I deleted that file recently.
Okay. Random quirk. I remember about some of my very old save file names is I used to type my middle name in there instead of my first name because I couldn't fit my full first name into the file name.
Huh.
And I didn't have a nickname for my first name yet until like probably like sometime like middle high school I started to go by it. But for a long time I had like a bunch of just random files that just have my middle name as my character name. Just because we're working more with like limited hardware here of like the mid to late 2000s and early 2010s.
Yeah.
That's just something I just remembered. Like I remember like having like a Pokemon Diamond. I called myself by my middle name in that game, until I lost that game.
Why did the Pokemon games like until like until like past Gen 6? Why were you only able to have up to 7 characters in your name?
Really?
Yeah, like even Black and White. Those games you could only have up to 7 characters in your name.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't put my actual name in there.
Yeah, like the Pokemon can have a bigger nickname than you can have a name.
Yeah. Like even in Gen 2. Like Gen 2, you know, for Alligator is like he's missing the E or the O or at the end of Gator because it was the character limit, and that's the same for nickname limit.
So I have an 8-letter first name, which is why this happened.
Infuriating.
Ooh.
So I couldn't actually put my name in there, and I was a dumb kid that was like, I don't know how to shorten my name, so I'm just gonna put a different name in there.
Yeah.
My phone charger is actually not working at all.
I suppose back to the childhood Mario Party. I feel like 4 of us grew up with 8. 4 of the 5 of us definitely grew up with 8.
You freaking young people. Ugh.
I'm sorry
Oi.
that I grew up with a Wii.
I was like half GameCube, half Wii.
Yeah, kind of the same for me. It's just a matter of I didn't really push for games until I was like I don't know, 10 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
The first game I owned was New Super Mario Bros. DS. Everything else was just something my dad had that I just played, you know. And he didn't
Yeah.
really care about Mario Party until late, or didn't know about it or whatever.
Okay. I have something that's like probably also not as relatable to all of the younger co-hosts that are surrounding me, but
Hi.
Hold out.
I remember playing games that I definitely was not supposed to be playing at my age when I was like a tot.
For example.
Start.
Perfect Dark for the N64, an M-rated game that I played at like 5 years old.
Oh,
Solid choice
yeah.
for an M-rated one, though.
See,
It was a hand-me-down from my dad, because it was his N64 I was playing it on, and he didn't really use it anymore.
you know, that's pretty cool though.
That's why I have a particular attachment to Perfect Dark, because I played that every so often as a little kid, who probably had no right to be playing an N64 game that was like M-rated.
Mhm.
You fucking idiot. I'm gonna mute for a few seconds.
Okay.
Alright.
Additionally, I also played games like Half-Life 1 as a very young child. Halo, Call of Duty series. I own the original Call of Duty, like the very first one, on disc. I own the gargantuan 6-disc installation of Call of Duty 2. It's actually ridiculous. Hold on, let me see if I can look up a picture of it. It is a massive, like... Yeah, there's 6 discs you need to install this game.
Ooh. I was saying, playing God of War as a 12-year-old. Yo. I have a very fun experience as being the youngest of a my family of 3 kids and 2 parents. So in a family of 5, I'm the youngest. So I had the wonderful experience of also experiencing a few games that I probably shouldn't have been playing, because I remember that like my brother just kind of got me to play Modern Warfare 2 quite a bit.
Oh, you played Modern Warfare?
Yeah, I played Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 a few times on split screen. Which,
okay,
I remember a bit of that. It was pretty cool. Sometimes when you have 3 players, you just have 1 player with a bigger screen.
So
which is kind of fucked up.
I also played Modern Warfare, but it was only Modern Warfare 1. And yes, it was the original, not that crappy remake that's like 500 gigabytes to install now.
Start.
And I'm going to like stand by the belief that the originals were by far the much better games. Because like Modern Warfare 1, that was a game that I like legitimately really liked playing. It had like an interesting story, which my child brain didn't care much for, but when I like look back at it retrospectively, it's an interesting story. It was also like new enough with like the systems. It had the system that I guess was new at the time, where the character takes like 3 breaths and they're okay after like taking like 5 gunshots.
Yeah.
Video games.
Like it's not like you don't see your health bar, but you see all the red and blood around you. But you take a step to the right, take a breather. You're all fine, all good. You can take another round.
Just pick those bullets out of your body real quick.
Don't worry about the open wounds.
No, they're all patched up. It's okay. We're playing video games.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I played a lot of like a surprising amount of FPS as a child that had no right to be playing FPS games.
That's fair.
My parents were always very cautious around games like that, so I never owned any. I was especially not allowed around GTA. But I was also given mild permission if my friends and my older cousin were playing with me. I did play a little bit of COD here and there. I played a little bit of Titanfall. I was actually pretty good at that, weirdly enough.
That's cool.
But they were never things that I owned because my parents, they didn't want me to play games that were too violent.
GTA was the only game I wasn't allowed to play as a kid. Any other violent game, yeah, sure, it's all good. And my mom used to beat my ass in Mortal Kombat, yo.
Mortal Kombat was also a game I discovered on YouTube way before I probably should have.
I think
My parents did not like that I was enjoying it.
I think I discovered that through memes. That is the only reason I knew about that game.
Game. Yeah. How about games that we have actually, Mooney or Venger? You two haven't spoken in a bit. You all have something to add here because I feel like we've been kind of taking over the conversation a bit.
I have a funny story.
All right.
Kind of unrelated. Y'all know Mario 64 DS?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You specifically start that game as Yoshi, and I couldn't figure out how to beat King Babam. My parents were people who played video games like when they were little, so I went and asked them, and they acted like they knew what was going on because it was Super Mario 64, but because you weren't playing as Mario, you had to beat the guy in a different way, and everybody I asked to try and figure out how to help me just gave me the incorrect answer, and it was really funny.
That's good.
Because they thought it was, because they were talking about the old version, but it's,
Oh, you're Yoshi now.
You can't just pick him up. You're Yoshi. That's not what Yoshi does.
Yoshi's got weak sauce arms and a big nose.
Don't you have to like spit bombs back at him, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Mooney, if you have anything to add, then I suppose now would be the time. Ooh.
I played a lot of MMOs funnily enough as a child.
Ooh. Oh, see. Speaking of MMOs, like, I'm reminded of just seeing Wizard 101 just being, like, advertised all the time on stuff like Disney Channel.
Card game. Did you know that?
Hmm?
It's a card game, pretty much. I played it once.
Huh. That's pretty cool. Actually, I remember like a friend just telling me a whole story about their experience with Wizard 101 and experiencing that with her sister. Just kind of experiencing the game together. The game seems pretty neat, and also like Pirate 101 was also like connected to that game in terms of like lore, which I think is pretty cool. It's weird. It was weird, but also really cool the way they described it, because like while the events of Wizard 101 would be going on, like the events that you'd be going through in the story that you're playing through, there are also events that are happening in Pirate 101, like happening around the same time, or like say you did something in Wizard 101 and then like canonically something directly after that you'd be doing in Pirate 101.
That's pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah. But
Like I had Toontown Online, then Infinite, then Rewritten, then Fellowship, then Corporate Clash, and I also had Monkey Quest and Venditas.
A brain neuron that activated, I heard
Toontown.
Toontown.
Activation Toontown.
Oh no. I know people really like that game. I've never. Is it just an MMO with like Disney themes?
Okay, I can explain this. So,
Cal just going, ew, Toontown.
Oh no.
hell, I'm offended. Anyway, so Toontown Online, Pretty much, yes. It was a Disney-themed MMO, loosely Disney-themed, where you played as a species called a Toon, and you're trying to defend Toontown from being taken over by robot businessmen called cogs, which essentially represents capitalism. Which is kind of funny because Disney's so capitalistic. Essentially your job is to kill the cogs and get rid of them by killing them with jokes, which are called gags. And gags are like they're like limited ammo, I guess per se. It's like a constant consumable that you have to like restock every time you like get into a battle or something. The gags, you can use them in different combinations to like kill a cog and like with different combos of stuff. And one particular gag was very broken in Vanilla Toontown, and that's called sound. Sound was so broken that it was just undeniably the meta of the game for forever. You could like, you had to like pair it in certain ways, and everyone over time like memorized all the combinations to use this gag. But it was basically just the nuke weapon, and it never got nerfed in like Vanilla Toontown. But fan servers have finally nerfed it after like it had like, at least in Toontown Rewritten, I know it was nerfed like this year. So it took like an extra 10 years after the original game ended for like that server to actually nerf sound, which is
hey, better late than never.
I guess so, but people are mumbling and grumbling about it. I hear every so often because like it got nerfed and it's the easiest way to like
win card.
Yeah, pretty much. There are other servers like Toontown Corporate Clash that like dramatically changed that experience. And while I haven't played it that much, it is something that could be explored if you enjoy Toontown but want a fresh take on it. Because it does like revamp a ton of things, and while I personally haven't gone into it myself very much, I've seen like a friend or two play it, and boy is it different.
Also, Kel, it's okay to just like not like a game. Totally understand. Like, I haven't touched Toontown once, but it seems neat. I can see the appeal behind like, I mean, considering how much you have told me, Star, I can see the appeal behind just kind of just like, you know, just I can see the appeal behind Toontown. It's pretty neat.
It's a very simple game to play. Which is like probably one thing that like has like causes this such a wide appeal.
Yeah, it's also geared towards people like, you know, at a young age. You kind of get into the gateway and then you just never really break away from it, I'd imagine. Like that's kind of the experience I'm understanding from a lot of people. It's just like the reason that they like it is just because they just grew up with it.
However, one of the critical flaws with like, at least like, Toontown Rewritten, for example, is that, or I guess Toontown in general, really, like just the vanilla game experience, is it does not respect your time. There is a ridiculous amount of grinding you need to do to get to like the, I guess like the, 100% status. And the reason why it's so, like, drawn out in this way is because it's like, at least in the vanilla game design, I think my understanding of it is that it's trying to like force you to pay for the game subscription.
Ooh.
Because it was one of those games where like you had to like pay for a subscription, get your parents' credit card, and beg them to buy you a membership for Toontown.
Ooh. So,
And also, Kel, I respect that opinion because of the fact that that's the main reason I haven't played Corporate Clash myself very much. Because you need other people to play that game. And most of those other people are like already super high level at this point in time. So there's like not a very good influx of new people because it's all just the die-hard fans. But I digress. I feel like I've been taking the spotlight a bit too much.
Hey, you're good. You're good. I mean, hey, you're the special guest. It's okay. You're all good. Suppose another question to ask is we've had talks about just like games you remember like what games do you remember like, if any, sharing with the family? Like kind of things you remember sharing with your family, like as a whole.
I suppose that would probably be how I got into Zelda. Because, like, for a while, before my sister and I would ever play games, and my mom was never good at games, my dad would just play a Zelda game and the rest of us would watch.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of how I got into it, and my dad's been into it like his whole life. Not not his whole life. Zelda hasn't existed that long. My dad ain't that young. But nah.
Yeah, that's a cool way of kind of experiencing Zelda. Just kind of, it's just a family thing. It's pretty cool.
I do have also one vivid memory. I don't remember where it was, but I know my dad was playing Twilight Princess, and a stray cat was trying to get into our house, just meowing at our screen door. I also remember my dad dying at whatever it was he was doing at that point. It got to a distraction.
Mm-hmm. Oh, game is chugging a little bit. Uh-oh. Sorry. I suppose childhood memory that I remember is playing Mario Party 8 with the family a lot. Like, Mario Party 8, Brawl, and Mario Kart Wii were like the three family things. And then also,
Hello?
Come again, Moody?
You're breaking.
You're like,
Oh, that's not just me. Okay.
roboting on our end.
Oh, am I getting
dear.
roboted?
Yeah, like on the
Oh.
stream you sound fine, but on the call you sound terrible.
Okay. Well, I'd imagine on the stream I'd sound fine, considering I'm the host.
Okay, I
and
think
I was
it's
also
stabilized
recording
now.
from my mic.
Yeah, I think it's back to normal. The game's also lagging, but also it's back to normal.
Okay.
Could you repeat everything you were trying to say just a minute ago, please?
So Mario Party 8, Mario Kart Wii, Brawl, those three games are just kind of the games that I remember playing a lot with my family. And then also Wii Sports, because that's the holidays are happening and like relatives are coming over to like my grandma's house, so we need something. So Wii Sports.
Okay, I
Easy.
gotta correct you there. You forgot the critical one. Wii Sports Resort.
That is also fair, but actually Wii Sports Resort was very close around Mario Kart Wii as well. But yeah, those I suppose those five were like the big ones. But I mostly remember the three that I remember the most playing with my family is Brawl, Mario Party 8, and Mario Kart Wii. Brawl was funny because in free for alls, I remember that my dad specifically gravitated towards Meta Knight, and he was like, and then I was like, oh, and then I was like, I kind of connected the dots of Meta Knight being really good. I just didn't quite know why, because I was a little kid. I just thought my dad was good because It's kind of funny looking back at it because I remember my dad gravitating towards the Flame Runner as well in Mario Kart Wii, and I'm like, he's pretty good at this game. so yeah, both of those things are kind of funny just looking back at them. Mario Party 8, I can't remember what we did particularly. I'm pretty sure it was just, playing party mode. We definitely had the game like a month overdue when we rented it out at Family Video because we liked the game so much. Oops. Oopsies. We like playing this game.
I had the same few games, Mario Kart Wii, Mario Party 8. Didn't really play Brawl with anyone beyond my sister, and that was before I was good at the game. I was never good at Brawl, for the record. But I do vividly remember a regular hangout between me and my sister and some mutual friends. Because I was friends with the younger one and she was friends with the older one. Because that's how our ages work. But we would all come over pretty regularly and just play Brawl. And of course, we did teams based on age, more or less. And my friend played Meta Knight.
Oh no.
Shocker.
Yeah. A vivid memory that I remember with Mario Kart Wii specifically is, typically the order of operations for positions goes my dad and older brother typically competing together as for top two. I'm kind of coasting and kind of hanging in there for the most part, but I'm typically not the one to win races, and then my sister's just there. That's typically the order of operations, right? But everything kind of falls apart for everyone except for my dad when we get to Wario's Gold Mine, because that's a map that is tricky. It's a map that is tricky. It's easy to fall off, especially when you don't really know how to play the game. And it's especially brutal when you're playing in 4-player split screen on a giant CRT. We had like a big ass CRT down here, like in the basement where I am right now. Like where I'd be sitting at right now, I'd be sitting like right in front of the big old CRT that we'd have, and I was playing with GameCube controller, right? And I'm pretty sure the wire for the GameCube controller was pretty small. So when we all finish up, my dad gets first, and all three of us siblings are in bottom three. So my dad finishes up. My brother finishes 10th. I get 11th. My sister finishes 12th. I'm pretty sure she was probably just her only progress was probably with getting a bullet bill and just praying. But when the results screens finally show up, I just lean forward and just a bit of disappointment in myself, and just kind of being like, man. I lean forward. Me leaning forward tugs on the wire of the GameCube controller, and the Wii falls over. It falls off the stand. It falls off the stand that it was on, and the console turned off. It still worked, but now it was the last race as well. But it was kind of an unfortunate end to that session that night.
Yeah.
What the heck? I don't know what it was about. I'm pretty sure that sticks in my head because I was the one that caused that. But yeah, that's like my one vivid memory with that game.
Happens.
Yeah.
I had another memory pop up of with my older cousin. We used to play a GameCube Incredibles 2 game. It was only ever 2-player. One person was Mr. Incredible and one person was Frozone. But it was like really fun.
Oh, holy shit, Revenge of the Underminer?
Yeah, was that what it's called?
I think so.
That game was kind of sick, not gonna lie.
The GameCube, right?
Yeah, GameCube.
Oh, I've played this.
Yo?
Yo?
There's a
Yeah, no, that game. It was. I don't remember how long it is. I know we got a lot of playtime out of it because children. But man, it was fun. I also vividly remember an enemy rush area where my cousin was dead and waiting on a respawn, so I just mashed specials, which worked pretty damn well. Or like super moves or whatever.
Bringing up GameCube games made me remember that I also had Sonic Heroes, but I also had The Incredibles, the first game. I don't remember anything about it. But
So I think that was one player. I think my cousin also had that one. But that's...
you know, I can check the box actually, because that tells you how many players can play.
Mario.
By the way, Mooney, nice 4 wins in a row.
It is in fact one player, yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Oh yeah, I never explained why I muted earlier. I realized I had forgotten to plug my mic in.
Oh,
Start.
that's pretty important, I'd say.
Yeah, that's pretty important.
Also, I think, you know, one thing I also have now realized, I know of Mario I think I had the Mario Galaxy CD, like soundtrack CD, before I had Mario Galaxy, because that came with New Super Wii.
Oh.
Because I have both that and New Super Wii in the same the same slip. And it's like, oh yeah, I have that thing. And it's like, it's really cool because it's just, you know, an official soundtrack CD of 28 different songs from Galaxy. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Alright, do we have any other stories to tell right now about things you remember with the family, if anything?
Not sure if it counts, but I remembered one more, like, just kind of thing. It was definitely a multiplayer thing I did with my dad. It was a component, just mini golf thing. But the part that was cool was that what you plugged in was a little tee, basically, and it had a motion sensor on top of the ball, so you actually swung like a plastic club to play mini golf in a like 16-bit mini golf game. Yeah. Wish I knew where that was, because I kind of want to plug it in and play it again now.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that is all.
I'm trying to see if I have a picture of something in particular. Oh yeah, I remember going back to. Apparently, like even in like middle school, Lasky still had the really old computer, and it had a picture of my brother in elementary school on it as one of the backgrounds. Like, oh, that's my brother. I'm trying to see if I had a pic saved of I remember a game of Mario Party 6 that I played with my friends during a New Year's party, and in that game, I'm pretty sure someone had the star spawn on top of them, because that could happen in the games before, like Mario Party 7. So we just had to take a picture of it because it was like, damn, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry, dude.
looks up as you can't actually get the star.
See, what's funny is that in Mario Party 6, the star doesn't like when you're on the star space and and it's your turn. The star doesn't like the star isn't there on the space until you walk away.
Wow.
It just spawns in right immediately after you walk away. It's like, oh,
That's really funny.
teehee, teehee, teehee. This could have been you. This could have been you.
Rip Bozo.
Start.
Yeah. You know, Nintendo Land was also just kind of a fun game.
That would count as childhood, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I was not anywhere close to 10 at the time. I was like 8.
How long ago was that? It was that long ago?
2012, baby.
Well, now I feel old.
It was a launch title.
Yeah.
And it's weird to think that like you have GameCube and Wii as your childhood.
Yes.
I have partly those two, most of the Wii, and then the Wii fucking U.
I feel old hearing the Wii U is a part of the childhood game.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't 10 until 2014, and that was like the middle of the Wii U's life.
Oh, I just took old damage.
Like, I got. You don't get to say that. Why don't I get to say that? What do you mean?
See, War agrees.
Not to be. How dare you stand in the how dare you stand in the old circle? Damn, getting called out, Star. You just need to stand there with me.
What's going on?
We need to have a talk later, mister.
Alright, so or if you want, we can invite you on to trying to get Mario Party 7 to maybe work, and you'll work together with Star as the old team. You'll work together with her, right? Right? You're gonna work together, right?
Insert that
Yeah.
Star Wars.
My childhood was NES, SNES, N64, Genesis, and Saturn. Oh my goodness. Don't you have a Dreamcast? You have a Dreamcast. Where were we again?
I've got a game that I need to ask about that I feel like should be decently universal, but it might not be.
Okay.
Minecraft.
It's universal in the fact that everyone knows about it, but I never really played it much at all. It's a game that never really clicked with me at all.
I think as a kid, for me, it was that big, popular. Yeah, it was the big popular game, you know. Everyone in the world,
absolutely.
everyone in my family, everyone in my friend group wanted it. So my family got Pocket Edition, and I would play a few worlds, just all Pocket Edition. Me, a few of my cousins, 4 of us. It was fun. Don't get me wrong. Minecraft doesn't have the same spark for me now as it did way back when. But you know, it was something that existed. It was something that was popular, and I played a lot of.
Minecraft I played a good bit, but when I came out, but I never understood why I blew up because I was a teenager when it did get big. I used to watch a YouTuber called Paulser something every day. Yeah, Minecraft was just everywhere, like when it just kind of blew up because it blew
JR.
up. Paulster Jr. Yeah, him. Okay.
not what I've heard of. I did watch a lot of Minecraft as a kid, you know.
Also, Sorry Junior.
So I don't want to name any names because you know what happens when it comes to old YouTubers.
Right. You know, I guess just another random Wii game that I remember, that I kind of remember sort of growing up with.
Oh, quick,
About
can I
its
say
retirement
more?
10 years later. Yeah, sure. Sorry.
Yeah. So Minecraft was the game, and I definitely played a bit of it. But the thing that was interesting for me is I don't remember how far between Minecraft and all my YouTube shenanigans was. I found Terraria in some of its earliest days, and I always liked it more. Terraria was a game I wanted to play since I discovered it, and eventually my parents got like an iPhone 4. I could play the mobile version. I played the hell out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still one of my all-time favorite games. I've got about 800 hours on it on Steam.
Sick. Also, then, you got something?
No?
No? Alright. Moody, do you got something?
No.
Alright. Star, do you have something?
Refresh me on the topic. My brain just like turned off for a second.
We were just kind of like, I guess just talking about, initial topic was Minecraft, and just after Warhead talked about it, like his stint on that, and then also blaming you for not being old, apparently.
Alright. So I remember some of the older mainstream guys back in the day. I watched like a lot of like gaming reviews, like say like JonTron. I watched like OG Game Grumps. Kind of fell off in the Dan era when it started. I think the reason I fell off of that was like Dan never actually played the games really, and I kind of like expected that both of the Game Grumps would be playing the games that they're playing for weeks on end.
Right.
I remember I had a brief PewDiePie phase, I think, when he was still just a gaming YouTuber. Otherwise, I was like a lot of like sprite fights. I watched a lot of those.
Yeah, bro, stick fights were so cool. Like going onto YouTube and just kind of like looking at like stick fights, and it's just like, yo, how do people make this? This is so awesome.
While this is not necessarily a game, this is like tangentially related, I guess. On the Nintendo DS, there was an app called Flipnote Studio, and I frequently like used that all the time when I was little. I feel like this would be something that you guys would know of, since this was like the DSi era was like late 2000s.
Yeah, no, I feel like we DSi, 3DS, Wii U era is just like, we all know that, like, and then Flipnote, yeah. Flipnote is pretty cool.
Yeah, I made Flipnotes for like a while,
Finish.
and that's where I learned how to animate. I just kind of like learned on my own, watching other people animate. And while I don't really animate these days simply because I'm so lazy, I do like have it in the back of my head, like animation principles all the time.
Funnily enough, I only ever had a DS Lite, so I missed a lot of the DSi stuff. But I
Really?
do remember seeing like a few Flipnote things on like early 3DS days.
Yeah.
You didn't hear this from me, but you can still get that software on the 3DS if you go places.
I'm sure we all know where.
Where? I don't know. That you'll find it in a dumpster somewhere.
Also,
Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, sure. Also, War saying you cannot talk about childhood things without talking about SMBZ. All right, now who here has swapped spit with Super Mario Brothers Z?
I just cracked my knuckles audibly, but it didn't pick up.
I was
Yeah.
one of those people who constantly looked up episode 10 despite it never existing.
Dude.
I feel like I'm missing a core memory here.
Super Mario Brothers Z, like the big Mario Sonic crossover series where it's just like how do we even describe it? It's just Mario and Sonic Dragon Ball.
Yeah, because it has Z in the name.
This
That's
is Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured something like that.
Yeah. But like the
I
sprite
missed that
fights were
earlier.
so cool.
It was really good for 2010s and earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The
Like,
Yoshi's Island brawl.
dude.
I'm just remembering Mario's Castle Calamity.
Oh,
hell yeah.
man, that too. Like, I feel like there are two core memories here: Mario's Castle Calamity, and then Super Mario Brothers Z. Those are like two sides of a very similar coin.
Everyone say thank you to Newgrounds.
Also, yeah, like SMBZ. Yeah, that was the reason that Mechasonic is just known as like cooler from DBZ. Because he just has like cooler lines from DBZ. So now Mechasonic is just forever known as cooler, like Sonic flavored.
Finish. Winner.
Also, like SMBZ is absolutely just kind of they referenced it in the comics as well. Yo, that's like the like SMBZ has had a very tangible ripple effect on like kind of just like how we interpret the sprites of Sonic Advance and like Sonic Battle and all that stuff. Superstar Saga, Mario and Luigi will never look the same.
Yeah, that's true though.
Yeah. The whole island fight was honestly peak, yeah.
Like, I've never seen something come close to that.
Also pioneering the yellow and white Mario with the cape for a super form.
Mhm.
Like, that's a pioneer right there.
I have to imagine I have seen some of those. It's just not as big of memory as so many other things I've seen on YouTube.
Yeah, that is fair.
So, I really wish that the original series found some form of conclusion, because it's just how hype it was, and it just ended. The train just completely stopped rolling at the cliffhanger of Mario getting like cornered by a Basilisk or whatever the edgy looking Koopa guy was.
Yeah, and then Luigi I'm pretty sure Luigi was kind of turned to stone.
So,
The game broke.
Chimera.
Video
so in
game.
the I guess like the unreleased like draft of the 9th episode, it was a facade.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Luigi turned himself to stone, turned out, saves Mario, and then we don't know what happens next.
Yeah.
And we never will, because there is a reboot of the series, and it's probably not gonna be done until I'm in my 30s, I'm gonna be real. If it gets to that point.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, the reboot looks great, but like, man, where does the story? We want to know where the story went from here. We just want to know what happens next.
I really. You first.
It's a. No, yeah, you go on. I'm gonna. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So me personally, I really wish that he at least like gave us an ending, like he animated the rest of the episodes to the end that he like intended for before like going through with this kind of reboot project here. Cause it looks great, but now this guy's an adult and probably has much less time to himself than before. So
Yeah.
episodes will take longer and longer to come out, and as the quality standard rises, so will the production value needed to make an episode. Which, of course, that's gonna happen over time as you get better at a craft. But again, I guess maybe it's just fruitful thinking that or wishful thinking, I mean, rather, that I wish that this series like concluded proper before a remake was started.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that the series had to like come to an abrupt halt from the ambitions of wanting to make the entire series up to par. Like, that's the thing about art, is that you always want to like as time passes, your old art, comparing that to the new art that you make, always looks inferior, and you always want to change, always want to improve, always want to change that outlook. But the way that that the creative behind this ended up doing it is like, you can't, like, you have to just accept the fact that, like, yeah, your old stuff is always like, that's just a part of the time. That's just a sign of the times, having like of the era that you made this art. It's okay that the art is like old. It's still incredible that it has evolved into what it is. I think the fact that they are trying to remake it all is kind of a disservice to the product, honestly, and strangely enough. Like, it's a disservice to seeing the evolution of what is going on, and the evolution of the sprite animation improving. Because this is the landmark of the times. That's the thing about it. But yeah, that's my main critique about it. It's like, not just from the outset of, yeah, it's being remade, sure, it kind of dampens the effect of we want to see the ending, but it also I just think it personally dampens the impact that the old episodes had, and how you can see the constant improvement of the craft over time.
I get it. Perfectionism is like, well, it nips at your toes and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, just me personally, I really wish that there was just a proper conclusion to the series. So that we could like hail it as like a full saga, rather than just we have to speculate for decades at this point on what's going to happen at the end.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate, but that is just the way that creatives work sometimes. My dog is back. Hello, Nax.
Doggle.
Doggle. You were talking about games, right?
Oh,
We're supposed to talk about
yes.
games, right?
It seems like now we're just talking about our childhoods.
Whoops.
Yeah, it turned into the direction of, we're just talking about, like, passion projects and the effect of time passing us by.
I was gonna bring up a similar thing, a short version. Someone was making a Lego Zelda animated thing, but then
Ooh.
like the camera equipment broke after episode 9. There was supposed to be 16,
Oh, that sucks.
and I don't know if they ever got back into it. That was like at least 12 years ago, so it could have
Oh,
changed
man.
since, but I don't know. But then that reminded me of another slew of games that I definitely had growing up and haven't played in ages. You know, all the Lego insert movie here games.
You know, I guess if we're trying to get back onto the topic of games that we remember playing it when we grew up, I remember like Star, you mentioned growing up with SA2 and Heroes, right?
Yes, those were part of them.
I partially like had Heroes like growing up. But I also had Sonic Unleashed for the Wii. That was the main one that I remember growing up with. I'll like the game certainly has its issues, but like it's fine. Honestly, it isn't a completely serviceable game. The way that the structure is like you can like it's definitely vastly different compared to the HD version, but it's fine. It's entirely like it was entirely fine. I kind of went back and finished up the game later when I was just kind of able to. I learned that the final boss is a punch out match. Like 100% just a punch out match against like as Light Gaia against Dark Gaia, and it's kind of cool.
Nice.
Like it's a very strange game, and like it's strange in a way that like it's obviously visually much worse and much like more streamlined compared to the HD version, but like some of the things that it does is still like the final boss, strangely enough, is significantly better in the Wii and PS2 version compared to the HD version. Max, what do you want? My dog wants something. I'm gonna take care of him right now. Wanna go outside, buddy? Wanna go outside? Nah? Wanna go outside? Yeah, no? Yes, no? So? Yeah? Yes, you do. Okay. I'm taking him out. If y'all got anything else to like mention here, then go right ahead. I'll also be listening.
I'm trying to think of like I grew up with video games, right? So there's like a ton. And I don't know if I can or should mention every little thing that I've done. Because there's a lot.
It's the weirdest game we all remember.
Oh.
Weirdest what?
The game.
There's a lot of options.
Okay, one just random game that I remember playing was Build-A-Bear Workshop for the Nintendo DS.
That's the thing.
That was like a sort of like a very bare bones looking pet sim kind of game where you just like made up Build-A-Bear and you played with it. That's it.
I need to ask, did anyone else have Webkins growing up?
Yes.
I did.
Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
okay.
Yes.
That's another random something I remembered.
I had
I
a
didn't.
small... Man. I personally had a small Webkins phase,
I did too.
and that was like exclusively because of the fact that like my local Walmart was promoting Webkins at the time, and I just bought one every so often, because I was like, oh, it's a stuffed animal and I can play it online too. I want to get that. I still have my Webkins collection in my house.
I don't know where most of mine are, but I was cleaning my room sometime before I went back up to college. I found one of them. It was a white horse. I wish I remember the names I gave them. I know I had a frog who shared a name with my cousin, with my oldest cousin. I don't know why I made that choice. I just did.
It was a choice. I remember Webkins. It was a neat time. It shares a similar like place in my brain where Animal Jam is. To me, they're very they kind of scratched a very similar itch in a way.
I blame Webkins for my amiibo addiction.
Start.
You know what? Honestly, you might be onto something. You might be onto something here, because it's just like after I faced hold on, real quick. What was I about to say? Yeah, interrupted. Yeah, like as soon as Webkins got phased out of my mind, it just kind of went to Amiibo. It's strange.
Comparable in function.
Very comparable in function, actually. Yeah, like granted, compared to just being like an animal that you can play with in a game, it's just like, oh, I know this guy. I want to get a figure of him. Oh, and I can use him in games too. That's so cool. I was just like 10-year-old maybe like, ooh, it looks pretty cool. I want that Kirby. Kirby looked pretty cool. I can get a racing suit in Mario Kart. That's so cool. I want him now.
You're telling me I can scan this figure of Link into Super Smash Bros. And make him more annoying than his top player? Sign me up.
Yeah.
Amiibo CPUs gnarly.
Absolutely, they were.
Okay, I have something to pitch as like I guess like a final question.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever revisited old games and have enjoyed a fresh take on them with mods?
Ooh.
Sunshine is definitely one of those right now.
Alright, so how many of us has played Eclipse?
Okay,
Haven't
well,
played it. I've watched it though.
yeah, like 3 of us on the couch have already been playing it for
Link has caught
a
3
good
of us
minute.
playing it at the same time.
Yeah. While we were like prepping up for a stream like last week, we were just kind of sitting in call playing Eclipse while we were just waiting on waiting. I'm pretty sure it was just waiting on Moody for 4 Swords. But yeah, that Eclipse is a wonderful time right now. By the way, if that came out during like the fan game talk, we would not shut up about it.
Finish.
Yeah.
It is such a good mod.
So
Whole new game.
here's my SA2 mod list.
Oh boy.
That's a big mod list. I have nowhere near that big of a mod list for SA2. Granted, I haven't played it since I played it last time. Or since I don't know.
Take a look at how many of those are Chow centric.
Yeah.
Let me just take a look here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just looking for ones that have Chow in the name. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 that have Chow in the name. Alright, one of them is spelled wrong. Alright, was that a... wait. Is it?
So let me tell you the ones that are not Chow related. The Trial Sonic, Amy Eyeliner, Dreamcast Lighting, the Emerald Radar one, And the gun logos one, I know are not Chow related. Otherwise, all of them are Chow World.
Very funny.
Yeah, sometimes like the thing I think about when it comes to games returning to with mods, there's Sunburn and now there's Eclipse. I guess in a similar vein, randomizers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Randomizers, because I do a ton of Ocarina of Time randomizers. I didn't play much of Ocarina of Time vanilla as a kid. I played a lot of 3D, but that 3D has a randomizer too, and I play a ton of those. I had an impossible one the other day, actually. Messing around with new settings and the logic's not finished yet. Whoops.
Yeah. Randomizers are super cool for experiencing a game in a different, like, a game that you've played for a while, at least in a different way.
Yeah, it's like really good for Pokemon. If you know, like, Zelda and Metroid well enough, it can be really fun with those.
Another one I'd like to promote is related to another Sonic game that I played as a child, which is Sonic Riders. There's like 2 significant mods that are floating around that do a lot of significant changes to the game to make it more like balanced and friendly for a multiplayer environment for net play. And those 2 mods are Sonic Riders Tournament Edition and Sonic Riders DX. Take a look at those if you want like a cracked up experience of Sonic Riders.
I would also recommend those since I've also played them. I've also played them with Star. Great time. She likes to bully me in that game.
Look, I'm good at that game. I'm allowed to like be mean.
That's fair. I played the weird skates in that game anyways. I don't play the same game as everybody else.
You mean the cannonball for some asinine reason.
Look, I just found that shit fun. It seemed very funny. And then I started getting better with them, and I'm like, oh, these actually got some sauce, because it's a weird wild card thing. But anyway, Sonic Riders DX is a good game. Good mod.
I like to play the Opa and kill everyone.
Yeah, that's why I said she bullies me.
It's really funny.
Mumble grumble.
Finish.
What other Moody? What other mod? Like, do y'all got like cases of kind of re-experiencing? I haven't mentioned CGGP, but I'll save that for after. Do y'all got anything to mention?
A good HUD mod can change any game.
Yeah. Got an example?
Team Fortress 2, specifically, I really like changing the HUD in that game. It's pretty easy and it's pretty fun. A lot of customization there.
I mentioned Brawl Minus.
Fuck, Brawl Minus is good. I didn't mention P+. That's like the prime example of re-experiencing old game, but with like a new code of, like, it's weird because PM, I could consider that like partially a part of like what I experienced as a kid, because like I was like 10 when I first played PM.
Wow.
Like it's crazy how old that mod is.
Yeah, like, I remember you told me you got it running one day, and I did my homework early so I could come over to your house and try it.
Yeah, no, like, PM is so cool. Like, legitimately, it is a wonderful experience, and P+ just makes that experience even better because they make it more fun casually as well. Like, cannot understate how good P+ is at being both a good game competitively and a wonderful game casually. It's got one of my favorite favorite custom modes you can do in that game, where you remove blast zones. You make the blast zones wrap around to the other side of the stage, and you turn on knockback scaling for stamina mode, and you have 999 stamina. So you just are playing a DBZ fight at that point, and it is incredible.
I've gotten a lot of hours out of that one.
Yeah, like there's nothing quite like that experience, and you can only get it in this game, and it's so cool. I think that's the prime example of experiencing an old game in a very new light.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Mooney, do you got any stories about like kind of just experiencing an old game in a different kind of light here?
Okay, does Terraria count?
I mentioned it earlier, so yeah.
I have a hunch you're gonna mention Calamity.
I did not play with Calamity actually.
Really? That's like the big one I hear about.
Yeah, Calamity is like probably the most well known, and it's a little chaotic at times. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot. Terraria has a lot of mods, especially now with the workshop thing. You can just download really easy texture packs and music replacements.
I just did the stars above and some miscellaneous mods.
You don't know what that is. Which is funny because Terraria has its own semi-official mod loader on Steam. You can get a ton of stuff easily.
I think I would just call it official at this point. The devs like wholeheartedly support it and update it, and like work with the mod creators themselves on it.
Terraria devs are amazing. Can I just say?
I mean, they seem amazing from what I've seen of them.
They've made like 3 final updates now.
Oh, there's one more planned. We're on 1.4.4, and 1.4 was supposed to be the final. But then I think 1.4.1 was just some bug fixes. 1.4.2 was the final update, and then there's 1.4.3, and then there's 1.4.4.
Journey's End was supposed to be the final update. Then they made the Labor of Love update because Terraria became one of the most popular games on Steam, period. And the devs wanted to thank everyone for that.
Yeah, it won the Steam Labor of Love award.
Yeah.
So that 1.4.5 is gonna be. It's huge.
And now they're making another one.
Yeah, oh yeah, the game's also permanently half price from what it used to be. It used to be 20.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's just $10 now? Wow.
Yeah.
That's honestly really sick.
Gear Collapse is cool.
Winner! Oh, yeah!
Look, all I'm saying is, instant respawn, potion merchant, Terraria is so much more fun when you don't have to farm for 20 years to take on a single boss.
That is a very good point.
Start!
I feel like Terraria is a game that I definitely should actually try to dig deeper into and experience more of. I know that we gave it one shot and it just like I'm not sure what the how a good experience should be like crafted for that game, because I'm not sure how that game functions at a core basis.
It starts slow.
Yeah. It definitely seems like a game. It definitely seems like a game that would start very slow, from what I'm understanding of it, because it's very similar to just kind of an RPG kind of way of doing it, in a sense, where it's like you start really slow, but as you as you as you progress through the game, you have more options available to you. Like you have more things you can do with yourself to just make the game progress much faster. From what I'm understanding. But that's just like the basics of like an RPG as well. It's like you have more options, you have more things you can do with yourself, you have more like ways of handling problems.
Yeah, I know we mentioned it at some point, but basically, Terraria starts off slow because you're extremely weak. And unless you know exactly what to look for, you can't really do much at night until a few days in.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know, it's dark, you don't have a lot of torches, or you don't have really good movement or offense to survive. But then once you get, like, even once you get past, like, the first boss, and maybe you have to fight it once or twice to get enough drops. And definitely more times in multiplayer. That's when stuff starts to get, like, faster, and you get stronger, so it gets easier.
Yeah.
And a potion, if the mod that Mooney mentioned, if there's a potion merchant, that, like, that's insane. Potions are so unbelievably important, but also so difficult to make. So, being able to buy things is just good.
Alright, so I can see me like trying out the game at some point. Or at least trying it again. This time like more fully, I guess.
Yeah. We could do I don't know. Actually don't know what I was gonna pitch.
Well, we can discuss this later. It is getting close to it is getting close to the 2-hour mark at this point, so looks like we should be ending it off soon. Are there any other games we would like to discuss before we end things off?
I feel like I should be obligated to mention Pokemon.
I mean,
We did have already at least 2 podcasts where I've talked about Pokemon.
oh, okay. If you don't want to talk about Pokemon for a moment, I can talk about another game that I just kind of remembered, like, kind of spur of the moment.
I'm just gonna say one thing I don't think I said during the Pokemon podcast.
Yeah.
It's like, Pearl was my first game, played that a lot, borrowed my sister team, lost a cartridge, found it again. But then I also restarted the game several times. So my original file is not only long gone, but my most recent one confuses me because I didn't know the timing of things. Not only did I nickname my Piplup after a Terraria YouTuber I forgot existed, but my character's name was Lenup. I did not know I came up with Lenup in 2015.
Wow.
Tangent over, go on.
Okay. I guess my little tangent is a random game that I remember playing quite a bit as a kid is, strangely enough, the Cars 2 video game. And believe it or not, that game
I had that.
Yeah, no, that game is actually legitimately pretty good. Like, for a licensed racing game, legitimately it's got some good mechanics to it, and it's honestly pretty good for what it is. Like, it's got good driving, it's got good mechanics in terms of to get like meter for boosting. It has you just have straight up weapons that you can fire off in certain races. You have missiles, you have machine guns, you can just fire off like the blue shell of the game is just a fucking laser cannon that just homes in on first place and kills them.
My god.
Oh yeah.
Like it's kind of insane like that, but like it's insane, but also just toned back enough to be honestly a very fun experience in a very strange way.
the one
fun
that
in a
had?
way that you would not expect it to be.
Was that the one that also had like the postcards you had to find throughout the entire world?
Postcards?
I don't know if they were postcards. There was some collectible.
There were collectibles in every stage, yes. I don't quite remember if they were postcards or not. I played the game very recently, actually.
I might be thinking of a different one then.
You might
I
be.
know I had a Cars something on the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember that much about it.
I just remember that, like, the Cars 2 video game was, like, surprisingly a very solid game. It didn't have that, it had about 15 tracks, so it wasn't that there wasn't that much, but, like, the content itself, like, the tracks themselves were well designed, the computers, like, actually put up a good challenge, the mechanical depth to everything that you could do was surprisingly good. It was a surprising rough, like, hidden gem in a way. Considering the movie that it was tied to, it was definitely a hidden gem.
I'm definitely thinking of something else then. Never mind.
Yeah, but like Cars 2, the video game, coming out of Cars 2, the movie, is like, how did like? I feel like Cars 2 works better as a video game than it does as a movie. It's honestly just kind of that good of a game.
That's really funny.
Cars 2 is a good movie. Nobody's ever seen it though.
True.
Finish.
No, Cars 2 was Cars 3. Cars 2, like, the actual movie that we have is like, it's an elongated Mater's tall tale.
That's a great way of putting that, actually.
It's a feature-length Mater's tall tale film.
It's what the world needed. They just weren't ready for it.
Yeah.
Start.
Sorry for stealing the show for a moment. Are there any other games we would like to talk about before we end this podcast off?
I don't really have anything in mind personally.
Alright. Ninja Mooney, anything?
Said I'd mentioned SpongeBob Boating Bash. That's a good game.
I remember that one.
It's just a niche Mario Kart clone. Like, that is sort of what it is, but it's just, everybody has a health bar. And, like, the parts of your car have individual levels of health, and they can break. Like, the front of your car can break if you smash into people too much. It's kind of like that.
That seems funny. Just like driving around with front end gone and a dream.
No, yeah, and like the game has a combat system pretty much. Like you floor it and you do more damage. Like the show.
Okay, that's pretty cool. We should just have a stream dedicated to like weird multiplayer games we could try to play.
I like it.
I'm down.
Was SpongeBob's Boating Bash like a GameCube game?
I think it was in the Wii and DS.
Huh. I mean, we could try to get it. We could try to do it on the Wii. See what we can do with it. Here. Alright. Anything else from any of our couch right now?
Well, I think I'm all gamed out for the night.
Finish.
Alright. Then, as per tradition, we shall watch one more Bowser's Big Blast before we end things off.
Of course.
2, 3, 3, 3 with whatever else we had left prior to this.
Yeah, we could, the stats might be slightly wrong because of that disconnect, but you know what? It's okay.
What's my win rate, guys?
So, Benj did pitch that for every time we hit 4 buttons without exploding, they gave you a point. I definitely did not count this perfectly, but you're currently at 31.
Oh, like all 4 of us hitting one? Without hitting it?
Yeah. Well, no, I was counting some 3s.
Ah.
And I also counted a few, like 2 sets of 2.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I definitely...
31 is impressive, though.
That,
Start.
that one?
Hmm?
What did you say earlier? Because I was talking at the same time.
I said 31 is kind of impressive, though.
Yeah. But like I said, I did not count perfectly or consistently, but you know what? It's okay. We got a number. Also, Mooney's the big winner this time around.
Yeah, like, I think the, I like just kind of having to keep, like, I like you keeping track of the big blast wins, by the way, because it gives us a lot of, it's just like a statistics check. It shows that, the order kind of doesn't really matter for Bowser's Big Blast. Because a fun fact about Bowser's Big Blast, like, no matter which like turn it is for you to pick the plunger, like it's the same like chance for everyone like statistically to get out or stay in. The way that the odds work is that since I'm going third here, you'd think that like if Mooney like doesn't get out, I have a 50-50, right? But think of it this way: to get to this point, Venter had to pass a 75% check, and then Mooney had to pass a 66% check. So those two together, along with the 50-50, make a 25% check.
Oh. My console's turning off.
What?
My console died.
It.
My Switch died.
Well, at least you're at. No!
It broke the room. Right.
It broke the room. We get to watch me pray, and then the game died.
You know what? Start at 5 points for that one.
Yay!
They had to watch me hope and pray, and I die for it. Okay.
We will never know how that one ended.
I'm glad that my statistics lesson here has just has killed the game. Your Switch got so bored of my statistics that it died.
I inflicted a bad omen on the game, and I went.
It lasted on 5% longer than I thought it would, but then it went from 1% to nope, I'm not playing anymore. In no time at all.
You know, that's the Apple tech. Apple tech either stays at 1% for like a year, or it like doesn't go to 1% and just dies. It dies at 5%. Well,
Switch,
come on.
The Switch just said no. We're done for the day.
Yeah, we're done for the night. Pack it up. But I guess on that note, we will be packing it up right now.
I'll give off my final statistics as of right now.
Yeah.
So with the possibility that some of these are wrong because of the disconnect, I am at 76. Pure is at 75. So we both won the same amount of games. Benj is at 71. Mooney is at 80.
Wow.
So Mooney is the big winner.
Jumped a good 4 games ahead of you.
Yeah.
It's a 9 game. Look, I mean, honestly, over the definitely over 300 games that we've played, the fact that it's like within 9 of first to last in terms of wins is kind of pretty interesting. So this is a nice game of statistics that is going on. Is all I shall say. But I suppose with that being said, I hope that all of you in the audience had a wonderful time listening in on the wonderful Blastcast that was talking about childhood games. And of course, of course, shouting out everybody else on the couch with me from left to right. We have the wonderful Lenup.
Hello, damn Pokemon.
We have the wonderful Venge.
Oh.
We have the wonderful Star, the special guest here.
Ah.
And last but certainly not least, we have the wonderful Mooney. Ooh.
I like that one.
And of course, we can't really have the show without the host with the most, me pure or puree, whatever you would like to refer to me as, in puree, whatever. Yeah,
Pure.
it works. Pure.
Wow.
Yeah. Y'all have a wonderful night. Did we think about doing something Sunday for like the Dokapon or Force Surge, whichever one?
So that's gonna a hard maybe for me. I got a bit of
Okay.
homework, and I might be calling someone else.
Alright, then I guess we'll try to figure something else out. Star, are you potentially available Sunday if you want to do something?
Maybe.
Okay.
I'll have to think about it.
Sounds good. Though with that being said, let us peace out, y'all. It has been a wonderful show. Been about a little over 2 hours, give or take, depending on how long the starting soon was. But y'all, take it easy. Have a good night.
Night chat.
Bye bye.
Any parting words, Mooney? Thank you.
They sent a cat. Just imagine a cat.
Yeah.
Let's picture a gato.
Gatto.